Welcome back to the Wizard Shop. It's time to look at this really sweet 1983 Corvette Crossfire Injection C3 Corvette. Let's get started. Ha ha, fooled you. There's no such thing as a 1983 Corvette. That was a transition year between the C3 and my favorite Corvette, the C4 Corvette. This one's actually an 82, and yes, it does have crossfire injection, or some people call it misfire injection, or there's some other names that are not very nice to say on here, so we're not going to say those. But this is actually Leo's. You guys have seen some of his cars in here. He had a silver Prelude. He had a Lamborghini Murcielago of 2003. He still has. And this one is a 30th anniversary, being that the first Corvettes were 1953. This is a 1982, but kind of a 3. It's got special paint, a special package. It's got really sweet seats. They're almost like a golden color. It was a really neat package. I've seen a couple of these around town or in various places over the years. You don't see a whole lot of them. And it's really, I think it'll become a collector's edition Corvette because there weren't really that many of them. He's dropped it off here because it's just sitting in storage, and there's several things he wants fixed on it. And he does a little bit at a time, then he'll come pick it up, then he'll bring it back later and get a few more things fixed. That's kind of the way he likes to do things, and I'm totally cool with that. But this time around, the list is a little longer. He says time isn't an issue, 2 months, 1 year, a year and a half. He told me, he says, Wizard, I don't care. And he said, don't even call me with prices. He said, let's just get this thing done. This is an heirloom in the family. When this thing was new, his parents bought it. And they've had it ever since 1982 when they bought it new. It's been kind of relegated down to Leo now. It is his car. He drives it around. And he just can't see himself parting with it because of the family history. Cost is not really a concern. He just wants it done right. And I told him we're not going to restore it here. We don't do restorations. And also, we took this in a long time before I made the ultimatum, no more old cars. So we've got this one to work on, to finish up. The Lincoln is done. It's waiting to be picked up. The Nova still needs to be finished up. That is the next thing after I get done. The Lincoln's out of here and things of that nature. We're getting there. We're getting the old cars out. Crazy D in the office has been taking a lot of calls with people with really old cars that haven't ran in years, and we have turned all of them down. We just said we're not interested. And you guys know the reason why is because I can't make any money. If I charge enough money where I can make money, then I get told the price is too high. So I guess you'll have to go to the West Coast and pay 50 grand to get it restored, because I'm not doing it here. Now, back to the Corvette. I've got a list of things. We're going to look around it and show you what he wants done. A couple of things are pretty big items. Some of them have already been done. Let's take a look around it. As we go along, you'll see some little scratches and some paints rubbed through and whatnot. At some point, he's going to take it to a body shop and get this all brought back to like new condition. But right now, the mechanicals are what's important. Has a really cool turbine-looking wheels on it. I really love those turbine wheels. I had something similar on my 79 Camaro, and they just really look good on these cars to me. You can see on the side it says Crossfire Injection. We'll show you what that is here in a minute. The tires are a little old. They're Mohawk Predators. They could use to be replaced, but they're good enough for now to get the work done so we can roll it around the shop, do road tests, and then worry about that after we get the rest fixed. And as we look at the side, you can see it has kind of a fading side. It's actually a sticker, a decal. You could probably peel it off if you wanted to, but we're not going to do that. That's part of this 30th anniversary package. And as we go to the rear, you can see some of the paint is oxidizing. That's going to be taken care of in the future. We've already done a few things to this car. We've done a fuel pump, an antenna, some of the issues with the radio, this and that. But there's a much bigger list this time around. The sides still are glossy. It's just mainly the tops are oxidized pretty bad. But the car's really in pretty good shape. Some of these I've seen are ratted out pretty bad. This one is not ratted out. Let's take a look under the hood. So how many of you have heard of TBI? You hear the talk of, I got a 305 TBI or 350 TBI, which throttle body injection. That's what that means. And a lot of those were in S10s, trucks, even Camaros and things of that nature. This is the grandfather, or I guess the father, to TBI. There. Crossfire injection, right here. Twin throttle bodies, one injector pod per throttle body. If you have those TBI engines, you'll know that they have both of these injectors side by side in one unit. This happens to be two separate units. But this was one of GM's attempts to get into electronic fuel injection, and it actually works really good. A lot of people talk trash about the crossfire injection, but for what it is and what they intended it to do, it actually does very well. It does a good job. But otherwise, it's a 350. We've done the valve cover gaskets, the fuel pump block-off plate, which obviously doesn't use a mechanical fuel pump anymore. It's EFI, but you can see it's all stock. Leo likes things stock. It has the smog pump. It has the old R12 refrigerant. Everything is just like it was in 1982. And he'd like to keep it that way. And we're happy to oblige that for him. It runs very well. It doesn't have any major issues. He just wants some things taken care of, a few little tinkerings here and there, and some oil leaks. I'll get the list and we'll go over that together with you. There are several things we've already done that were very small items we could go ahead and take care of. Replace the battery, the brake lights needed some bulbs and a fuse. The bulbs actually blew, and when they blew, they shorted out. I've seen that happen before. We repaired the power mirror wiring and got that fixed. We adjusted the driver's window, repaired the driver's seat pivot. These seats pivot so you can get back behind the seats. Lubricated the door handles, repaired the driver's window switch, repaired the shift indicator to get that working correctly, repaired the HVAC panel, reconnected the courtesy lights, replaced the hood light bulb, and the horn checked out okay, but there's still a list of things that need to be done. The valve cover gaskets, which we did do that. The fuel pump cover plate, we've done. But the steering cylinder, it's actually, we'll see when we get it in the air here in a minute. The power steering on this is not a steering gearbox. It's actually just a hydraulic cylinder that mounts to the steering linkage. It's kind of strange. It's the way they did it back then. It has a transmission input shaft seal and a rear main seal leaking, and luckily on this car, I'll show you also that, this is not an engine out job. It's actually fairly simple to do. Front sway bar links, left door latches, hatch release cable, hatch struts, fix the radio, replace the passenger vent, replace the windshield. We'll have one of our guys come in and do that, and shocks all the way around. A lot of these things I just listed here were not originally intended to be repaired. This is where you get into trouble with old cars. They're old. They got stuff that's bad on them, stuff that you can't see. You can't walk around and tell some of this stuff is failing or leaking or coming apart. Some of the stuff is made of plastic and it gets old, it's brittle, it breaks. Rubber seals, gaskets, things of that nature, they let loose over time. And like I mentioned, this is where you get in trouble with older cars. You get a list together like this and you call the customer and they say, well, I hadn't really budgeted for that much work. I didn't think it would be that bad. And that leaves the shop, really any shop, not just me, between a rock and a hard place. I need to get this car out of here. I need to get paid on it. But we can't go any further because they're out of money. It really creates a bad situation, and I've chosen over the years to just avoid the situation altogether. But luckily, I have a good customer relationship and also a friendship with Leo. We're friends as well. I know that I can tackle these things and repair these things on his car. He's not going to scream at me. He's not going to curse at me or leave me negative Google reviews. He's going to say, if that's what it took, I'm happy. I'll pay the bill. I wanted you to get this thing right, and you got it right. I'm very happy and I'm very pleased. When I know that that's going to happen, then I know I can take care of this situation. Let's get this thing in the air and take a look underneath. We'll go ahead and take a look at the radiator and the condenser. You can see it's kind of canted in there. That way they can have a taller radiator and condenser in there and it not stick up above the hood. Here's a Folgers coffee can. Actually, it's not. It's a vacuum reservoir. GM did that for a while. They just use a can and it works very well. That's to operate the headlights, the vacuum headlights, and they work. Here's some little bit of damage in the front that needs to be repaired that used to connect to here. That's why this is floppy. That's something we can probably take care of here. Nothing leaking in there. We can see that we've got a brake leak going on there. See what I mean, guys? That wasn't on the list. There we go. It's leaking fluid out of the caliper. And you can see the shocks need to be replaced. The bushings are shot, and also the shocks are just old. One cool thing about this car is the engine sits behind the front wheels, not on top of them. It's kind of a cool feature. Check over here. Brakes are fine, they're not leaking. Everything's good there, and again, there's shocks that need to be replaced. Here we have the power steering cylinder that I talked about. You can see the hoses that go to it, the lines. So when you turn the steering linkage, it actually moves a little valve inside of this block here, which then directs fluid to the cylinder and gives you power steering. As you can see, it's leaking. It's going to need to be replaced. It's really cool that they put engines behind the front wheels on these. It's a very similar situation to the Maserati Quattroporte that you guys just saw a video on. Again, the engine is behind the front wheels, and that is to equalize the weight, to try to get closer to a 50-50 weight ratio for handling, for better handling. We can see here there's rear main seal leaking. That's also mixed with transmission fluid. You can't see it, but it's actually red mixed with brown. Luckily on this one, I don't have to pull the whole engine out or do anything crazy. I just remove the transmission. We can take care of the transmission reseal, also the rear main seal. We might have to lower the oil pan. I believe these are a two-piece seal on these older models. But it's really not that big of a deal. The engine doesn't have to come out, and it's a very common engine if we had to, but we don't. Here's our exhaust. It comes back to the stock catalytic converter. Luckily, it's not been cut off or stolen. Very happy to see that. But as I mentioned, he likes to keep things stock. This has not been changed over to Flowmasters or Borlas. It's stock like it was in 1982. And we move back to the rear differential. There's a little bit of seepage going on there. We may look into doing that seal while we're here. It looks like it's just a pinion seal. Here's our actual little half shafts that go to each wheel. You can see it has one big leaf spring across the rear to do both sides. Shock absorber is bad on here. We'll take care of that while it's here. Nothing loose there. Go to this side. Nothing loose on that shaft either. And brakes are nice and dry. The pads are pretty good on this side. We're getting new shocks, as I mentioned, so that's being done there. Here's our exhaust again coming out, all stock mufflers. Here's our spare tire. I can hear that it has at least some air in it. We'll check to make sure it's full before it leaves here. But there are some major things to be done. We need to take care of the transmission front seal and the engine rear main seal. Take care of that leak. But there's a few other things that need to be done. It's not a major list. It's not like we're rebuilding the car, taking the wheels off, all the bushings, all the bolts. We're not doing that. I told him we're not going to do that, and he's fine with it. But we will get it running good, no leaks, riding and driving good, smooth, good brake operation, everything else. So let's go ahead and get this thing on the ground. I do enjoy these older Corvettes. As I mentioned, my favorite is the C4, especially the 84. Some people will not buy an 84 Corvette because it has the crossfire injection, but I really enjoy the fact that it has that. It's kind of rare. They had it for 1 year, 84 with the C4s, and then it's gone. And it was only not very many years with this one, and they had it. It wasn't around a long time. But I really love the C4 Corvettes. Again, it's my favorite. This one's very nice as well. We'll get this thing fixed up. I'm not too concerned about getting a price to Leo, as he told me, just go ahead and fix everything. But I do let him know along the way, this is what we found, this is what's going on. So he kind of has a heads up of what's going on. You may have seen it in the background already. The seats were out. We were doing some interior work. And it's kind of like a filler job. If we get slow or one of the guys runs out of work waiting on parts, again, waiting on parts, they can hop onto this thing and continue to make money for the shop and continue to make money for themselves. And it helps Leo get his car fixed. It's been almost a year since we've seen this car. He's had it and enjoyed it and drove it around, and it's back, and it's going to be here for a little while. There's already an agreement and an understanding that it's going to be here for a long time. So you will see it in the background several times, several videos. I'll have Magic Mike get started on this. He actually kind of enjoys working on it. He doesn't like too old of cars, but this is something that he enjoys working on. So if you're curious what kind of tools we're going to use to work on this Corvette or any of these cars, check my Amazon affiliates link in the description below. We get a small cut and we really appreciate it. And make sure to hit the subscribe button because we do have a project that's in the way. It's coming, guys, I promise. Hit the subscribe button. Thanks for watching.